How far can the rarest Pokemon in a region go? If you're stumbling onto this video series for the first time, I've done runs like this plenty before. I go into a game's region, find which Pokemon are the categorical rarest to find by their encounter rates, and see what that team's adventure would look like all the way to the Hall of Fame. But beating Pokémon White with the Rarest Pokémon Team ended up becoming such a fascinating run, with a brilliant selection of rare encounters that it made for a journey wholly unique to the series. So let's see who in the Unova Originals joins this illustrious roster, and see what they have as their potential. Well, in order to get this run going, first things first, we need to sprint through the opening section of the game, as our first eligible encounter is only accessible after beating everyone's 3 favourite gym leaders, Casper, Cornelius or Kierstama. Yet once you prevail over whichever of this sad trio you're challenged by, once you reach Nakreen City, the run can truly get going. So, in the Unova original games at least, there are technically 8, but in reality 7 Pokemon that I consider rare in this adventure, due to having an encounter rate of 10% or less. But things should be good in all honesty. There's plenty of Pokemon we'll eventually recruit, and I'm ready for the challenge. You know, so long as the first encounter doesn't require an agonizingly irritating method to obtain it. Son of a bitch. Okay, so this run basically starts on the absolute worst foot possible, to be transparent. There are 2 kinds of wild encounters in the Unova games. Your bog standard escapades in the grass, caves, sand, water, what have you, and then there's the Gen 5 specific mechanic, Phenomena. For every step that's taken in Black, White, and the sequels, the player has a slim chance to cause grass to rustle, dust clouds to form, water to ripple, and shadows to cast. This then leads to phenomenon-specific Pokemon being encountered in these tiles, usually an Ordino in a really cute and clever way to quickly grind experience on your team. Unfortunately, this is sullied by the fact that there are some rare Pokemon behind this layer of acquisition, and that sucks balls. I've done quite a few different encounter techniques over these videos. Fishing for Feebas tiles in Emerald, shaking honey trees in Platinum, the hidden grottos in Black and White 2 were awful as well. But while this method of finding a Pokemon is significantly less difficult to navigate or solve, I'd argue it's just as if not more tedious and annoying. Running around in grass repeatedly for a 1% encounter is bad, sure, but at least that's rapid fire, and by the time the encounters go over odds of when you should find something, it can be a little bit funny at the least. Here, meanwhile, you have to keep running about in the hopes of just getting the chance to unlock the opportunity to get disappointed. It's a 5% chance to find our rustling grass encounter, combined with a low chance to get this to even appear. It's like gambling and loot boxes, but worse. And wait, hang on. I wrote in the script for this video that I should compare it to opening a CS2 case pretending to be Jordan Peterson as a gag. Dude, that's a terrible segue and a stupid idea. I'm never gonna do that. I need to clean my room. If you couldn't tell, I got a little bit disengaged during this time. This seriously took so long to complete and was so annoying to summon that I couldn't even process what was going on when I finally found the Pokemon we needed. No, seriously, I can't process this at all. I don't even know what this guy's name is. Look, whatever this mysterious figure even is, I'm a bit split about this encounter, with it being a single stage Pokemon. Its base stats are really good for this point in the game, especially with base 125 attack. Sturdy as an ability too is incredible, and just makes it seem like this is the best encounter we could get up to this point. On the other hand, you can alternatively obtain a Timber here at a far more common encounter rate, as well as being a Pokemon with a satisfying progression into its final evolution. Or there's also Throw, Zulk's canonical counterpart and lover, which is a bit easier to find in White than Black. So depending on how you feel about that will dictate how good an encounter this is for you. In a vacuum of the second gym, however, we get to vent all our frustrations perfectly. N's team get absolutely swindled in no time at all, the conveyor belt of gym trainers in the museum are manhandled one after the other, and Lenora, who more often than not is a tribulation to most teams, completely crumbles beneath us. Like it's the most dominant I think I've ever beaten her in a single fight. So it doesn't completely undo how bored I got and how I spent real money on a stupid bit, but that gave me peace of mind that we're past rustling grass encounters. There's one coming right up, isn't there?
I love my grandmother.
So when I said that there's technically 8 rare encounters in this run, though only 7 in reality, that comes down to everybody's favourite Pokemon in the franchise, the Elemental Monkey Trio. I sure love these 3 as much as I love Dysentery. It took me up until I started recording this run to learn that these guys aren't exclusively a gift encounter. Each and every one of them is a 10% encounter in the interior of the Pinwheel Forest. However, the caveat is that one of these 3 is disqualified due to being a gift. As I picked the best starter in Unova for this run, that means Pansy will never see the light of day in a video of mine. But these other 2? They're fair game. Mercifully, this is much less draining of a process than I found with Sork, as the pair are doubly easy to locate, meaning that we soon found ourselves a Panpour and a Pansage in pretty swift fashion. Not before I saw a Pansir, though. Panpour, do right by your brothers by claiming the throne. To be honest, while I'm certainly whelmed by the Elemental Monkey Trio, with no signs of feeling any better about them than that, they are, in their own way, kind of cute. They could have done a lot more with them, and trust me, these guys are outmatched by so many Unovan options of similar types, literally in the same area in the case of Pansage, but as I've never really used these willingly before, it's somewhat charming to see how far we can take them. And that's easy to map out after beating the last Team Plasma Grunt in the forest, and with that victory, holy shit, is that Gorm of the 7 Sages? And with that victory, it meant that Castelia City was just on the horizon, which realistically would have spelt disaster for us with our Bert and or Ernie looking fighting type. Burgh, in complete contrast to Lenora, resists our fighting type attacks and would cause me a lot of strife if I was only equipped with Sork. But while Pansage ultimately has to stay as it is as a glorified punching bag for now, Panpour, meanwhile, can completely shock me. Did you know that at level 22 this dude learns Scald? One of the most powerful and meta-defining water type moves in competitive, before the 3rd gym makes this an incredible addition to our Blind Monkey's arsenal. Even better though, is specifically requesting a water stone on the city's shorefront, giving us our first final evolution of the team and a massive upgrade to our arsenal. Simipour is fast, has power behind it, and can be an incredible counterweight in the fight waiting for us. By this point, perhaps above every other team I've played with, this already felt like one that was just clicking into place, meaning my confidence was at its high when we stepped up to the Aphid Aficionado. 2 schools are all we need from our key in this fight to handle Whirlipede in short order. Then when the Vanny hits the field, Pansage does a very crucial role here. It fucking dies. Though that might sound like a joke, it genuinely is huge for us and our momentum, as I've taught Sork Retaliate, which doubles in power when a teammate has fainted the turn before it's used, meaning that we... Oh. Okay, we got a little bit red by Burr there, but that's fine, because we're still doing good damage and shouldn't fail so long as we don't get crit. I'm out of money for the CS2 gag. Dude, that sucked so bad. It sucks that we got bad luck, it sucks harder that our Simipour can't clutch up, but worst of all, it sucks so much because in our next attempt, no funny business happens and we completely crush it like I'd hoped the first time. I still believe in my heart of hearts that this team can go far, but man, what a way to suck the wind out of a big victory. Thanks a lot, Pansir. My mood might have been a little spoiled there, yet we can luckily get graced by our future prospects in Route 4. Honestly, I think we can all agree that this might be the best set of possible encounters in any wild area in a Pokemon game, right? So many reliable, cool, or downright amazing Pokemon to pick up in the desert areas of Unova. It's truly awesome. Even more so that the rare encounters here are both interesting to acquire, eligible for the team, and not determined by absolute bullshit. In the Desert Resort area, we're able to find ourselves another duo of 10% encounters for the team, Sigilyph and Maractus. 2 Pokemon somewhat notorious for just existing in the franchise without much else to do, but 2 Pokemon that I think are quite cool due to being so relatively rare in this region. And yeah, I wish there was more to say really at this point, but unlike the slow start to get off the ground, from this point in the games, our journey just keeps getting better and better. Sigilyph has a startling debut against some random plasma grunts. We get to reach Makeout Reef with N, I can't remember what he said, but I'm sure it wasn't that important. And before we take on the electric gym leader Elisa, we get to go to the musical. Wow, I'm pretty sure I heard that Ash Ketchum was starring on Broadway in Unova. Oh man, that performance was powerful, yet still paled in comparison to our power against the electric gym leader. Like, I've made 2 notes during this fight. Note 1, Sork sorked the life out of a pair of Emolgas without much resistance. And note 2, this woman's dumb as hell. Why is she using Pursuit on my fighting type? And why is she using Quick Attack on my paralyzed Cactus? Some people might construe that as the AI not being so bright. I, personally, take it as us being such a threatening trainer so far this run that no one can possibly stand up to me. And usually in this script writing process, this is where my confidence and arrogance gets tested by a future fight. But like, no. Not here, at least. We have to face Cheron before heading to Driftvale City, and it turns out our team can crush him comfortably. We have the better grass, better flying, and better water type on our team compared to his, alongside just outwardly better Pokemon. Yes, that sounds like I'm setting myself up for failure, and yes, I might have felt the need to attack Cheron's Pokemon a bunch in a double battle immediately after, but the snowball of success for our team kept rolling further through Unova. Clay can confidently be considered one of the toughest gym leaders in this game, no matter the options you have. But not only do we have answers for offense and immunities for defense, our team is still able to scale up where it can, as we can find a Leaf Stone here too. Pansage finally reaches a late growth spurt to match up to its compadre, and this just gave us ample answers in the fight. We do get punished a little bit, as I tried to set up a Reflect on the first turn with Sigilif before switching into Simipour, who gets confused by Clay's lead Krokorok hitting it with Swagger. Once we manage to avoid hitting ourselves, we're able to immediately dispose of it the following turn with Scald, though our luck still falters against his Ace Excadrill. Our Simipour manages to clock itself in the face so critically that it takes itself out, which by most metrics would spell a pretty disastrous turn for any trainer. But then we just bring in Simisage, and with its speed and power, it could just kind of clean up. Rock Slides from an attack-boosted Excadrill is a bit scary, sure, yet in the face of a threat, our team has the answer every time. And a few Seed Bombs completely blow away the competition for another routine gym badge. Seriously, it's impressive how Burgh, of all gym leaders, has been the biggest threat that stood in our way. But that's the reality that we find ourselves in. And does it really change much over the course of the rest of this game? No. I mean, I'd love to keep this video as a tale of highs and lows throughout our adventure, yet the game conveniently has rare encounters as keys to succeeding gyms. Skylar, for instance, is probably the first threat in a while where we don't have an obvious answer that comes to mind to her flying types, though that immediately gets undercut during our journey to Striaton Cave, because found at the lowest level in the Chargestone Cave, you have an 8% chance to recruit an adorable little Tynamo on the team. This, likewise to most of our encounters, is a really cool Pokemon and a really cool find. So far, putting in the work to find the rarest Pokemon does seem to pay out in the quality of what we get. A 3-stage Pokemon with a brilliant typing and ability pair that pulled its weight when it counted, and expectedly it managed to pull its weight alongside our other squad in another routine smackdown against the gym leader. Then for the 7th badge, Bryson is Bryson, let's be real. Not even considering the fact that he's an Ice-type trainer, meaning that we have one of the best answers for him in the game, he was still never going to be more than a pushover. Especially when, by the time we've made it to him, our recently recruited Eel can reach its apex form, Electros. It's almost a bit sad how the fights have been going for the trainers standing in our way, but there isn't much drama at the moment. This team is great, and it completely annihilates any and every trainer who we come across throughout Unova. Once we finally make it all the way to Opelucid City, the final hurdle for our gym challenge is here. Iris is a Dragon Master, a trainer who should really be feared from the power it displays. So many of our Pokemon can't hit it for stab damage that isn't resisted, and a Dragon Dance boosted Haxorus could finally be the Pokemon to spell the end for our team. But we got an answer for dragons nearly 2 gyms ago. In Twist Mountain, for 3/4 of the year, you have a 1% chance to find the frozen monster of Cryogonal in the caverns. Though by manipulating the clock of my Super Real DS, we can immediately cause winter to arrive, quintupling our chances of encountering it, and streamlining the giant snowflake onto our squad. Having used this guy already, it's quite fun to get it to work. With its incredible deficiencies in physical stats, yet excellence in special stats and speed, knowing how to use it effectively is pretty satisfying. Although, given that we can also teach our Simipour Ice-type moves, there isn't much nuance to the fight with Iris. Our Water Monkey absolutely wipes out her lead Fracture with a Blizzard, does great damage to Druddigon before Cryogonal is luckily brought in by a Dragon Tail to finish it off. A single Ice Beam unceremoniously spells the end for Iris's ace, marking a hugely dominant end to our conquest over gym leaders. I truly wish I could have made this video seem more valiant up to this point, you know? Pokemon is all about the perilous challenges that stand in your way that you endeavour to overcome. But this team, man, it's debatably the best assortment of rare Pokemon in a squad that I've found in this series. Put it this way, this whole game has been about Team Plasma, you know? Like they're going to try and change the world forever. N has a legendary Pokemon under his command. Everyone is freaking out. And I don't care. We've beaten every grunt without any real resistance. N doesn't pose much in front of us. It's not a problem in the slightest. I knew that we had a good team with solid coverage, great answers, and much that they could do in basically every fight. Case in point, the Elite Four that was waiting for us. Because by the time we reached the Pokemon League, I thought our team was untouchable. unbreakable. And with the capacity to challenge the Elite Four in any order we liked, it meant we could map out a routine path to the champion. Marshall's fighting types pale in comparison to our Sigilif, as its ability to come in and psychic every Pokemon he has in his arsenal meant that we came out swinging. Then with Grimsley, when I did try to share some of the love of Simisage, it's the salt show in reality. Bulk up a bunch, then work through the rest of the dark types comfortably. Even when his Crocodile manages to intercept us, we still have answers in the back to keep it all going. Caitlyn and Chauntor, meanwhile, are a bit more adversarial as we don't have a direct answer to either of them. What we do have though is an impressively powerful team to all fulfill a purpose. Simipour for firepower, Simisage for Leech Seed Chip, Cryogonal for withstanding special attacks. It's just so good to have answers for all of the Psychic Specialists team. And by the time we made it through most of the Ghost Girls squad, she got so intimidated by our pair of monkeys that she opted to end the fight early with a curse, conceding defeat and capping off a massively dominant Elite Four. I mean, we're unstoppable right now, really. We have been since Castelia City, a one-way journey to the top with no speed bumps or brick walls, and I was on cloud 9 by the time that we met the climax of this game, against the other major character of the Unova region. N might be carrying a legendary beast with a monstrous typing, yet while we have a counter handed to us on a silver platter at the last moment, we turn away from it. We do not need some sympathy legendary Pokemon. We have a team of 6 unlike anyone else in Unova who would make N and Ghetsis squirm. We are challenged by Champion N. So, legendary Pokemon, 2 levels above us, super powerful. What do? Well, we've learned some pretty good moves on this run, so I'm feeling pretty confident actually. This is probably gonna sting. Yeah. But that speed drop is pretty big, because I'm pretty sure this gets the kill. No, not at all actually. Damn, okay. That is a bad start. But I was pretty wrong on that one. I thought Sork would kill Reshiram. Right, how much does this do? Okay. Uh-oh. I think the hubris of man has cost me. Okay. Maybe someone got a little bit carried away. Yeah. So we might have failed hard. Like, pretty hard. I tried to persevere with all the remaining Pokemon that we had, who did put up an incredibly noble front to chip away at the rest of N's team. But alas, it wasn't meant to be this time. Or the next time. Or the multiple other attempts that I tried. The floor had fallen out from under our feet. In spite of everything that we did, we failed at the critical peak of this run. And we'd keep failing over and over again. All the confidence and bravado of this run came to a screeching halt against N, and that completely undercut how I felt about this run until now. Thankfully, though, there is many options and answers and strategies at our help. I knew we just had to get it right one last time. Okay. This Reshiram has been the bane of my existence for the past 2 hours, I'd say. It is a pest. But I think with what we have available, we're ready. So long as we can survive this. Nice, nice. Okay, not a lot of damage, which is a shame. It is what it is. So let's go with you next. Okay. Right. This is good. That's a great Pokemon to be out. Because we have a perfect answer for you. Come on, Maractus. Don't die. Perfect. Okay. Amazing. We can get off a Giga Drain. And that uses N's full restore. which is very useful. Ooh, do we live this? No, we don't. Okay, never mind. Never mind. It's not as straight cut as I would want. Actually, hang on. Hang on. I think I can kind of cook. Okay. I'm hoping that just having double defense is going to be useful. Yeah. Okay. We already do a lot, which is good. Reshiram has been the bane for the past while, but Sork can get some good old revenge. And there we go. The dragon is slain. Are you actually Kling Clang? I hope so. Yeah, you are. And I'm hoping we live one? Okay. That's good. Okay. Sork has been on a absolute tear. Vanillux. I think we outspeed you. Yeah, okay, right, that's 4. There we go. That's 4 KOs for Sork. We are basically soloing in on this one. Unfortunately, I think its time is done. But thank you, Sork, for the carry job on this attempt. Okay, we outspeed. That's good. We can play smart. Nice, nice, nice. Good self-damage. Very, very good. Okay, Cryogonal turned up as well. Effectively, we had a 2-man power trip for this one. But it's not over yet. Do we outspeed Archeops? No. Okay, right. It is not guaranteed by any stretch yet. I think I have to go with you. Come on. For whatever reason, just go Stone Edge and have it miss. Come on. Do something stupid, please. Ah, nope, nope. Just sees the kill. Okay. Well. Oh, man. I thought this win was guaranteed. Come on. So 1v1. We just need to live one attack. Or do I go for Rock Tomb? I think I go for Rock Tomb. Please don't kill, please don't kill, please don't kill, please don't kill. Please hit. Okay. Right. This. This was down to the wire. I mean, look at the team that we've got. This was a massacre. And we were at the level cap too. But thanks to that speed drop. That's the first major fight down. Whew. Quite the champions fight. That was tough. That was really, really tough in the end. But we did just beat N. But we're not done. We are not done at all. Oh man. Here we go. I'm not gonna just soft reset Ghetsis. If I don't beat him here, start all over again. Arguably just as, if not harder, than N. But we can get a good thing going at the beginning. Perfect. Usually this would be a death sentence. But with Magic Guard, we're in a very, very fortuitous spot. Good, 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 good. Okay. Maybe it's low enough health that it will heal. Okay, that did more than I thought it would, but that's fine. No, doesn't heal. Whatever. 1 down. Don't have an answer for you. You're probably going to go for Night Slash. Do I save Sigilif for anything? It could be a good switch, to be fair. Just in case we need Sigilif, I'm actually going to save it. Yeah, as to be expected. And you're dead. Bouffalon. Okay. I expected us to outspeed. That was a very, very convenient switch in. And in no time at all, we're halfway through. Right, you are guaranteed to outspeed. And I think we should save Sork. Thank you for coming, Sigilif. Everything in its right place. Just survive. Come on, this got to kill. This has got to kill. No, okay, never mind. Okay. Hang on, I can think of a Radiohead reference. No. Oh, come on! Oh, okay, right, what a roller coaster of emotions there. The music might seem just so calamitous, but we are in a very, very good spot right now. To the point that I think we can love and leave Kraganul for this one. Oh, come on, man. That's just messed up. Like, this dude has a family, man. Oh, we can take our time. Yay! And you go for acrobatics. And it still does a lot considering that we're max defense. I'm trying to will it to hit itself with wild charge. Let's just play slow and steady. Kraganul has come in right at the end to be an absolute MVP. There we go. And now we get the KO. Beautiful. Well. Solar Beam. Oh, that's so BM to get Solar Beam and use it in the final fight. Yeah, I think I'm going to just get rid of Acid Armor for this one. Well, it's not like the final Pokemon has a 4x weakness to grass. Oh! What a poor little ballsack frog. Whatever. Dude, you are ugly as hell. Yeah, you're going to be glad about this. Yep, well. Catch you around. Later, bro. Go listen to Kid A. Well, with some great strategies and a fair bit of luck, we'd saved the Unovan world with the rarest team at our disposal, which feels like such a magnanimous achievement for this run. So why does it feel so empty? Like, we kind of clowned through a large majority of this run, yet we had 2 fights back to back at the end that left me somewhat reeling. N was troublesome to a fault. The win felt earned, although that only came after several failures again and again and again. That somewhat tarnished what this team's energy was able to take control of. And then against Ghetsis, it was almost too easy. It was a clown show that I started ridiculing thanks to how good we had it. Neither of these wins felt right. So, actually, how far can this rarest team go? Well, thankfully, Black and White allow the player to go through the Pokemon League once more, as well as being capped off by a wholly different champion. This could be the one to make me feel like a true champion. Until I learned that Order's kind of mid. Like, we crushed the Elite Four once again, and then when the cards were on the table for a 3rd champion battle, it just aired on the side of Ghetsis again. Don't get me wrong, I like Order, and to some extent the fight was somewhat more perilous. It did somewhat come down to the wire due to all the options at his disposal that made for a stressful battle. But at the end of the fight, I confused his Druddigon with Kraganul, misclicked to surely throw the fight. Yet still won. No, sorry dude, this doesn't cut it for me. We've taken on 3 champions in Black and White, and none of them felt like a truly fitting end for this team, for this run. If only there was a 4th trainer visiting the Unova region to unabashedly test our team to prove our worth. Here you are. If there was ever going to be one trainer to determine how far my team could actually go, it would have to be the greatest Pokemon champion in the franchise. Okay. The final fight of this video. And win or lose, this will be when the video ends. So let's see if these 6 can make it as a team to beat 4 champions, if you think about it, in one video. Oh my god, double team strats, really? That's so annoying. Thankfully, Electros isn't taking the bait. Let's just confirm the kill. Oh, amazing, amazing. No bullshit. Thank you very much. Expected. So, I'm trying to remember how the AI works in this game. I don't think you necessarily know that I have Levitate, so I'm going to go for Dragon Tail. No, never mind. I'm just dumb. I'm just dumb. I do think we live this, though. Yep. Okay. A little bit of chaos in the mix. Mirror match. I think we outspeed. I think it's random move. And I don't think there's much for Electros to do, really. Do you outspeed Milotic? I know, there's no easy way to get you in. So, thank you for coming, Electros. Oh, really? We are outsped, huh? Okay, that's a bit concerning. I think I go with you. I think Sork is the play. It doesn't have a whole lot to do this fight, but it's consistently reliable, and I think just going for big damage would be great here. Okay, that did way more than I expected it to. Well, it definitely goes down here. Thankfully, no paralysis. Braviary. Do we outspeed? I don't know. Let's hope so. Never mind. Thank you, Sork. Now this is a bit dicey because I really want to keep Cryogonal for Garchomp. So I think I go with you instead. Go for the flinch. That crit is so big. We just need to void one ourselves. Amazing, amazing. Right. Very, very even rally, back and forth. But that's half the team down. Milotic. It's very tempting to go for Thunder Wave, but you have Marvel Scale. You don't actually have a whole lot of an answer for Simipour. Okay, thought you were going to go for Blizzard, but that's fine. We don't have a whole lot to do here. I actually don't have a great moveset for you. So I think we just chip away at you where we can. Oh, amazing. Okay. Oh my god, that did way more than I'd hoped. Okay. Sorry, Simipour, we didn't get much shine in this fight, but a very necessary role. Oh, scratch that. Scratch that. Never mind, you got her absolute tank below half health. That's all I could ask for. It's super slow too, which is a good sign. Right, let me just look at my team. It's not amazing. But realistically, I think Petal Dance is the right call. Yeah. This should absolutely kill. Yeah, perfect. Whoever's in next, I just hope we can do some good damage. Oh, come on, Maractus, survive this. This could be the... Oh, that could be the deciding factor of this fight. Yeah, no. Didn't do a crazy amount. But just that amount of damage might be enough. Thank you, Maractus. Oh, looking at it, actually it's a bit terrifying. Here's the problem. Lucario is decently low, but so is Sigilif. And it outspeeds with extreme speed. I'm just going to have to hope that extreme speed doesn't kill. Come on, Sigilif. Oh, amazing. Didn't see the kill. Didn't see the kill. And we get it. Okay. Oh, I'm very tired. Not gonna lie. So but trust me, I'm so happy that I think we had a fight that our team could finally feel like they shined in. Not over yet, but it's looking very good. Okay, okay. The fact that I outsped there did scare me a little bit, but the Stone Edge miss was pretty good. Thank you, Sigilif. An arduous fight against N, against Ghetsis, and against Older. But Cynthia was a tough fight that feels like we fully deserve to call ourselves champion. Oh my god, we're outsped. Oh, okay. Right, well, did we deserve it? Let's just say that we did. Cynthia, no word of a lie, my balls just went straight up into me at that Stone Edge.